Welcome to my kitchen. I'm going to be making a layered superfood brownie, and it's going to basically have a very sticky caramelly chocolatey base, and then it's going to have a very vibrant raspberry cashew layer, and then there's going to be a very sweet purple icing on the top infused with strawberries and raspberries freeze dried. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're going to use these really sticky medjool dates. These are my favourite dates to use in raw cake crafting because they are literally so caramelly and gooey and decadent that when you put them into a brownie base, they just give that chewy, delicious texture that I would expect from a really good brownie. So this is 180 grams, goes into the food processor. And then I have 100 grams of pecans. Pecans are so good in brownies, and just that little snap, they're so tender and moist and delicious, and they work really well when they're incorporated up into the brownie mixture. So 100 grams of pecans, in they go. Then we have 4 tablespoons of this very delicious cacao powder. Always smell your cacao before you put it in because it's just divine. So in it goes. That's 4 tablespoons. And then just a little bit of coconut oil. This is 2 tablespoons of coconut oil that we're just called coconut butter that we're going to pop into our brownie mixture. Get as much of that as we can in there. Yeah, you can always use that as a moisturiser later on if you want to. And then we have, I know we've used dates which are very sticky and sweet, but we'll also have a little bit of coconut nectar, which is very, again, caramelly and makes the brownie a little bit more decadent. So this is 2 tablespoons worth. Just pop that in there as much as we can. Maybe you could lick the bowl later if you want to. Okay, so we're going to whiz this brownie mixture up and then we'll see what happens. Are we ready? Okay, so we have our brownie mixture. It tastes incredible. Just had a little mouthful. And what we want to do now is we're going to start transferring the brownie mixture into our silicone molds. You can choose your mold shape. You can have a big cake shape if you want to, or you can have little shapes, or these little round ones is what I like. Even though I'm putting them into a round shape, basically I still cut my brownies up at the end, or I cut them into little cake slices, so they look really cute. So I would put in, to cover, perhaps just about half of this mould, okay, this circular mould. So put in half of, up to half here, and push it in with your fingers so it really stays in there. Now the dates are going to make it really sticky. The coconut oil, I just put a little bit in, that will help to set it as well. And as you can see, when I hold this up, it'd be really fun if it came out now, but it should stick in like this. And when you put this in the fridge or the freezer, basically it will set really, really nicely. If you put it in the freezer, it will set quite solidly. So maybe if you want to sort of serve it and get the knife to cut through really nicely, put it in the fridge. So just make sure you've really pushed it down, depending on how you want your sort of brownie to be presented at the end, okay? Right, so I'm just going to show you the one at the moment. Obviously you're going to make lots of them, aren't you? And maybe even eat half the mixture. Okay, so now we have this lovely, delightful pink mixture, but there's no natural food colourings in my raw cake crafting. This is only natural beetroot colour. Beetroot. So what we're going to do is we're going to have 4 tablespoons of cashew flour. So you want to get the cashew nut and you need to grind it somehow into a flour. If you have a high-speed blender, for me that's the best way to grind it, or grind those little nuts down. Or you could have a coffee mill grinder, or if you don't have either of those things, maybe just like pestle and mortar, put some elbow grease in. But really the best thing, if you can, to obtain one is a high-speed blender. So what I've done is I've mixed 4 tablespoons of cashew flour with some beetroot juice, basically. I have gone for the cheats version, which is a natural pink food colour, which basically has beetroot juice in it. In fact, it's just beetroot and water, and that's it. So if you have a juicer, get your beetroot in there, get some juice, and put in 1 tablespoon of beetroot juice, or maybe even 2 if you want to. You've got to make sure you don't put too much water in, but just enough so it makes it into this lovely sort of cakey sort of texture here. And what I've also put into here, I've put no coconut oil in or butter, or I've put no cacao butter in either, because it's going to set nicely anyway, and we're going to cover it with an icing. So what I've also put in is a sprinkling, maybe let's say a tablespoon, of freeze-dried strawberries and freeze-dried raspberries. So not only does it look beautiful, but it's going to taste beautiful as well. And this combination of basically this and this, I mean, I can't even tell you, it looks so divine, and the taste is just like, woohoo! It's like a party in my mouth. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Okay, so now we need to transfer some of this mixture on top of the really dark, decadent brown chocolate mixture, okay? The contrast between the two colours was very beautiful, the pink and the brown together. So really squish that one in. Now you've got half of the brownie mixture on the bottom, and then we're just going to fill this up, not quite to the top, because we want to make room for the purple icing at the top, okay? So really squash that in a little bit more. As you can see, I'm kind of like running out of my mixture. So this is making 1 brownie, one sort of relatively big brownie. And if you need to make more, you're just going to have to whiz up some more cashew flour to the quantities that I suggested before. So squash that down, and again, just even with just the food colouring, the natural food colouring, with no coconut oil, that stays in really well. Okay, I have also put in 1 tablespoon of xylitol to sweeten that mixture. Okay, so cashews ground up, 4 tablespoons, 1 tablespoon of xylitol. We're trying to keep it as white as possible, so when the colours go in, they absorb the colours, okay? You see what I mean? And then we're also going to put in a tablespoon of mixed freeze-dried raspberries and freeze-dried strawberries. You could put fresh in if you want to, but this is the recipe for this one. Now for the icing. Now this icing is just very quickly hand mixed up. So what I put in here, into this, it looks very metallic purple actually, it's amazing. I basically put in a tablespoon of coconut butter, and then I have also mixed in half a tablespoon of xylitol, mixed it really, really well. And I've also put in half a tablespoon of beetroot powder, and then I've put in a few drops of this natural blue colour, which is basically spirulina. If you can get Blue Magic by any chance, which is a powder, and it's basically E3 Live, and it's a blue-green algae, but it's very shockingly blue, it's beautiful, then put that in. If you can't access that, or it's too expensive, then get this one. It's about 66 pence, it's under $1 from Waitrose in the UK. I think you could probably order online as well. So as long as it's natural, just make sure it's natural. Now, when you mix the blue and the red together, what do we get? We get purple, how exciting. So we're going to put this icing on to the top of our brownie. Just spread it round like this, and it just looks so pretty and colourful. And when we turn this out, when it's set, it's going to look really, really lovely. If you would like to just decorate with a few more freeze-dried raspberries on the top, that would really make this look really fantastic. So let's just, there we go, a few more on the top like that. Okay, so, and then you will have just a few minutes to make a very decadent brownie. If you don't want to do the different layers and you just want to do the brownie recipe, I assure you it is delicious. So go and get cake crafting, and if you want to do more cake crafting, come and sign up to my WonderCake 101 raw cake crafting course, which is available here, and it's fantastic. You get 9 weeks of modules delivered to your inbox, and you get a great community to work with. We're all crafting all over the world from different countries everywhere, and we're having a really good time. So come and join us. Thank you. Bye.